Hello and welcome to Warhammer Wednesday. In this video I'm going to be unboxing this Space Marine. He's a Space Marine captain, master of the Relics. If you don't already know, I'm obviously trying to build a chapter with its own Titan Legion. Each company, which consists of 100 Space Marines, has a captain. So essentially it's going to be 10 captains, 10 main captains of the companies. This is the captain master of the Relics. There's four of them, four of these ones. They first made their appearance about 2.5 years ago when this book came out, the 40K Apocalypse, when they brought out the Obelisk and the Tesseract Vault, brought out the Lord of Skulls, the two massive units, which then, about 6 months later, then paved the way for Imperial Knights. Then obviously you've had the Storm Surge, things like that. Ever since this book in 2013, June or July time, you've had an influx of big plastic models. But all these four captains, this is kind of like my intro to all these four captains, because I've got all four now, so I will be going through each one, unboxing and reviewing them separately. Were released alongside this because for some reason GW didn't finish the plastic Thunderhawk by then. They had to release something for Space Marines, so they released these four captains. Now they are in fine cast, but I'm determined to make it work for me, and despite all the horror stories and things, we'll have a look at them all and we'll see if they're okay, and if they're not, we'll just go back into the shop and replace them. It's a simple thing like that, guys. It's not, your world doesn't come crashing down. They're very good customer services, they always have been. I know, I used to work for them. The four models that they brought out was the Master of Marches, him, Master of Rites, Lord Executioner, and the Master of Relics. And we're going to look at the Master of Relics. But this is kind of, like I said in other videos, this book, not only did it pave the way for larger plastic models, even more so, because obviously you had the Stomper and the Baneblade about 6 years before this in 2007. That's when they came out. So those models are, what, about 9 years old now? It's crazy, isn't it, that a Stomper's 9 years old? It makes me feel a bit old. But yeah, this kind of paved the way for the formations, is the point I was making. So look, you've got chapter assets. They select 3 additional strategic assets in the first scheduled break rather than only 1. And Finest Hours uses a Finest Hour or Sons of the Primarch special rules, and then all captains in the formation receive a 3+ invulnerable save until the start of their next turn. That's pretty good, because all the captains, you got one chapter master. I don't know, you could use Horus if you really wanted, or one of the Primarchs and just proxied them. Or if you had Ultramarines, you could use Gilliman for your chapter master if you really wanted. Either way, you've got 4 to 10 captains, and we know their rules in the new Space Marine Codex are pretty decent. So that's where they kind of originate from. If you wondered where they were and how you got the rules and things for them, they're in this Apocalypse book. But it doesn't stop you from proxying them as, for this guy, a Devastator Sergeant. Doesn't stop you proxying them as just a normal captain. It really doesn't. They're just really cool models, and I always try and buy the cool models to kind of send GW a message that they're on the right track, even though it is fine cast. Let's have a little look, shall we? So this model, Master of Relics, he's £15 unfortunately. I couldn't get a discount for him because it's a 3-year-old miniature or whatnot, and not all of the discount stores get these guys in, and when they do, they're pretty popular. So we'll just be extremely careful, and then we'll have a look at what the damage is. I mean, £15 for a 1 Unipose model. At the moment, GW are trying to charge you £22, and also remember that Orc Big Mech is quite expensive too, and he's only plastic single pose. So you get it in this kind of clam pack. That'll go in the recycling bin. There's no rules or anything hidden in there, no stats or anything. Right, so let's have a little look at the model himself. Right. He's got plenty of mould lines there, which isn't very good, is it? The detail's not too bad. It's very 3D. That's just like resin. A lot of clean up to be done in those joints and things. But overall, can't really see any bubbles. Looks quite bubble free so far. And the thing is with fine cast or resin, it's very, very 3D, like the model. The plastics, sometimes they're quite flat looking, as other YouTubers have said, whereas fine cast or resin, very 3D. You're going to get, when you put your highlights and things on, it's just going to pop out that much better, and with your shading too. Now I did, when I scanned the pack, I did see like a couple of edges of air bubbles there. So that might have to be filed down in a moment. And then that little scry skull or servo skull. I do like the power pack. It's nice, but no bends or anything, so I'm going to clip these off, file it down, glue it onto the base. It's only a small base, so if you've got any larger bases, you can put them on that. But the thing is, all of my other metal captains are on these small bases, and it's just going to look weird if I've got 4 on these bases and then the other 4 on the new 20mm. I'd rather them all be on these small bases, if I'm perfectly honest. I think if I'm going to have all of the 8 captains, then I'll have them on these bases. It'll be fine, because they're not in Terminator armour or anything like that. So there we go. So I'm just gonna do that. So join me in a little while and you'll see the finished model. And here we have the Master of the Relics, pretty much completed, well, construction wise anyway. Just got to give him a bit of a brush down, spray him, and obviously get painting. He, again, like the other captains, lovely looking model, excellent amount of detail. Yeah, really, really nice miniature. You know, all the kind of 3D detailing that you get with resin. Looks like he's in Heresy armour because of the blobs and things. I think it's Mark 5. I can't be completely sure. They're all in different kind of types of armour and things. There's one that's in iron armour that I have. I'd love to paint them all and just show you them all, because they'll be kind of like the captain of that company, really. They'll be the captains of each company. Yeah, so lovely looking miniature. Plenty of detail there. Kind of 3D detail. But like I said before, I'm going to have to go over a couple of bits, put some green stuff in. So yeah, thanks ever so much for joining me today. Thank you for watching. The Emperor Protects.